Canada and its trading partners. What are the provinces of Canada? The provinces of Canada are Ontario, Quebec, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, British Columbia, Newfoundland and Labrador, Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia. These are Canada's 10 provinces. So, what are the major natural resources of each province? To begin, we start with the province of Ontario. Ontario's major natural resources include wood, fish, and renewable energy. Ontario has an estimated 85 billion trees, which provide the province with a $14 billion income for the economy. These trees are used for wood or lumber, which can be made into paper, pulp, or furniture products. The next major natural resource is fish. 50 different species of fish call the Great Lakes of Ontario home. Quote, fish that are caught in these lakes are sold in Ontario and in international markets around the world. End quote. The commercial fishing of Great Lakes of Ontario makes up about a whopping 80% of fishing trade in Canada. Renewable energy. There are renewable energy sources that provide Ontario with this energy, and there's a lot of ways that we make it, which include wind, sunlight, water, and biomass. Wind energy is harvested from wind turbines, and water is used in hydro plants to harvest electricity, which mostly comes from Niagara Falls, which is also known as a major natural resource. The next province is Quebec. Quebec's major natural resources are hydroelectricity, fresh water, and wood. Hydroelectricity is one of the top 3 consumed energies in Canada, and Quebec has about 25% of North America's hydroelectricity. Quebec is one of the top producing provinces of hydroelectricity. Fresh water is literally covering 10% of Quebec's territory. Quebec holds tens of thousands of rivers and 3 million bodies of water, according to a quote, allowing it to have 3% of the world's renewable freshwater reserves. About 40% of this water is held in the St. Lawrence River watershed. The last renewable natural resource is wood. Quebec is covered in forests for about 45% of its territory. Its forests are rich and vast. The wood was mainly used or made into newsprint. Canada is the largest producer of newsprint in the world, and nearly half of its production comes from Quebec. The next province is Manitoba. Manitoba's major natural resources are freshwater, precious minerals and metals, and forests. Manitoba ranks as the 3rd largest province in having fresh water. In fact, 1/6 of the province's surface has more than 100,000 lakes, which includes Lake Winnipeg, the 5th largest freshwater lake in Canada. Manitoba has several metal reserves such as copper, zinc, nickel, and even gold. Manitoba is also very rich in minerals such as tantalum, cesium, dolomite, spodumene, gypsum, salt, dimension stone, limestone, peat, lime, crushed rock, sand, and gravel aggregate. Some of these minerals, such as salt, are the ones can be found in Manitoba, and we use them every day. There are 26.3 million hectares of the province's 54.8 million hectare land of forests, which is a big percentage of Manitoba's landmass. Next province is Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan's major natural resources are minerals, grain products, and forests. Saskatchewan is greatest in the world when it comes to potash and vanadium exports. It's also rich in other minerals such as copper, nickel, cobalt, gold, zinc, rare earth elements, salt, potassium sulfate, sodium sulfate, clay, coal, silica, sand, and diamonds. Saskatchewan is also known as Canada's breadbasket province. It produces a variety of different grains such as rapeseed, alfalfa, barley, canola, flax, rye, wheat, and oats. It also has one of the most richest agricultural soils in the world. Forestry. Saskatchewan has 350,000 square kilometers or 140,000 square miles of forests, which provides resources for the Saskatchewan forestry industry. The wood is used for making pulp and paper resources. The next province is Alberta. Alberta's major natural resources are oil and gas, crops, and minerals. Alberta is known as Canada's energy province due to its vast resources of natural gas, conventional oil, coals, and minerals. Alberta has the largest oil reserve in all of Canada, making it the third largest oil reserve in the world. Alberta produces 2.5 million barrels per day of crude oil, of which about 78% is raw bitumen from oil sands. Crops. Alberta produces or grows several different kinds of crops that we eat every day. Some of these include dry peas, chickpeas, dry beans, fava beans, lentils, mustard seed, sunflower seed, grain corn, silage corn, triticale, canary seed, sugar beets, potatoes, forage seeds, and other field crops. Minerals. Alberta is also known for having several minerals such as ammonite, diamonds, gold, iron, magnetite, limestone, and other building stones, salt, gravel, clay, shale, and sulfur. The next province is British Columbia. British Columbia's major natural resources include metals and minerals, wood, hydroelectricity, oil, and petroleum. A wide range of metals have been discovered throughout the mountainous parts of the province, which include zinc, lead, gold, silver, molybdenum, copper, and iron. Wood. About 60% of British Columbia is covered in lush forests. It makes up an approximately 19.5% of the forested land in Canada. Hydroelectricity. British Columbia has the largest provincial potential for electric power generation, for the heavy precipitation of steep mountain slopes are ideal physical conditions for the production of hydroelectric power. To produce hydroelectricity, you need an elevated water source, so a higher water level and a lower water level. Because of British Columbia's geographical features, it has ideal conditions to create hydroelectric power. Oil and petroleum. The Peace River lowland consists of younger sedimentary rocks, which have been the sources of petroleum, natural gas, and coal in British Columbia. The next province is Newfoundland and Labrador. Newfoundland and Labrador's major natural resources include metals and minerals and oil. Minerals are one of the most valuable natural resources found in Newfoundland and Labrador. Minerals that are mined in this province include iron ore, nickel, copper, zinc, gold, aggregates, cobalt, silver, dolomite, limestone, peat, pyrite. Iron ore is one of the most common or popular mineral mined, followed by nickel and copper. The total value of the mineral shipments from the mining industry of Newfoundland and Labrador is $4.6 billion, and it has increased by 22% since 2010. Oil. Newfoundland and Labrador has an abundance of oil. In fact, 4.4 billion barrels of oil, including natural gas liquids, and 12.5 trillion cubic feet of natural gas have been discovered in the Canada, Newfoundland and Labrador offshore area. Newfoundland and Labrador has its own oil industry and is working on 4 different projects on the offshore area to produce oil. Did you know that Newfoundland and Labrador has so much oil that it produced 210,259 barrels per day of oil in 2016? PEI, or Prince Edward Island. Prince Edward Island's major natural resources include agriculture and fish. PEI is known across the country for its rich red soil, which is great for growing potatoes, making it Canada's largest potato producer. The province is a great place for farming. Almost 90% of the land can be used for farming. It also produces a variety of other food products, such as dairy, beef, vegetables, grains, oilseeds, fruit, and even hay. In fact, approximately 88,000 acres of potatoes were planted in 2016, 108,000 acres of wheat, oats, and 55,000 acres of barley and 53,000 acres of oilseeds planted on the island in 2017. Fish. Prince Edward Island is also known for its fishes. It's an island that is obviously located near waters, making fish an important and second biggest natural resources after farming. The fish that are caught in PEI include a variety such as codfish and other sea creatures such as shellfish, lobster, scallops, oysters, clams, and mussels. Prince Edward Island catches a lot of fish. In fact, the total number is 32,330 in 2012, with a total worth of $632,944. The small population of PEI can't possibly consume all this fish, so most of it is exported around the world. The next province is New Brunswick. New Brunswick's major natural resources include wood and metals and minerals. Lumber or wood is one of New Brunswick's most major natural resources. A lot of New Brunswick's land is forested with the Acadian Forest region. In fact, it covers 1.6 million hectares of land. This forest region is made up of a vast variety of trees that include the red spruce, balsam, fir, black spruce, yellow birch, eastern white pine, eastern white cedar, eastern hemlock, and sugar maple. These trees are categorized by softwood or hardwood tree species, and/or spruce, fir, pine, maple, birch, poplar, and cedar tree species. With all of these diverse trees in New Brunswick, it would mean that there would be more products made from all this wood and exported around the world in turn for other goods. New Brunswick's wood and wood products are exported all around the world to countries like the United States, which accounts for 70% of all exportations, India, which is 7% of exportations, Indonesia, 4% of exportations, Thailand, 4% of exportations, and China, 2% of exportations, and more, with the remaining other markets counting for a total of 5% in 2016. The total worth of these exports was $1.7 billion in 2016, which clearly makes wood one of New Brunswick's main exports and major natural resource. Metals and minerals. Another one of New Brunswick's major natural resources is metals. New Brunswick is a land filled with rich deposits of zinc, copper, lead, silver, and peat moss. These natural resources allow for employment and helps the province make money in exports. In fact, in the year 2012, the estimated worth of metals and minerals mined was about $1.1 billion. The next province is Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia's major natural resources are metals and minerals and oil and natural gas. Nova Scotia is a province rich in minerals and metals, a natural resource that can be very beneficial for the province. The minerals that are found plentiful in this province include magnetite, barite, gypsum foundations, and goethite. Nova Scotia is also rich in deposits of coal. Coal can be used as a fossil fuel to make electricity. This natural resource can be important to Nova Scotia since electricity is something that we use every day, making huge deposits of coal found in Nova Scotia really important, along with other minerals. Mining all these minerals can also give people job opportunities and employment, which also benefits the economy. Oil and natural gas. Along with metals and minerals, There's also another important natural resource, oil and natural gas. These natural resources are important to this province since oil is used a lot in our daily lives, and so is natural gas. Nova Scotia is located near water. That's where they find and mine these precious natural resources. Nova Scotia also works on offshore projects concerning oil and natural gas. Now on to what are the territories of Canada? The territories of Canada include Yukon, Northwest Territories, and Nunavut. Canada has 3 territories in total. The next question is, what are the major natural resources of each territory? Let's find out. The first territory is Yukon, and its natural resources include minerals and wood. Yukon is a province with one of its main natural resources as minerals. These huge deposits of minerals include ones such as gold, zinc, lead, and silver, and they remain the territory's most economic non-renewable sources. Yukon is remarked as being famous for its mineral wealth, but the remote markets limit its economic exploitation of its resources. So even though Yukon has a lot of mineral deposits like gold, zinc, lead, and silver, because of its remote market where not a lot of people are investing in, there's not a lot of benefits or reaping of the good stuff that comes from having so much minerals that's happening in Yukon because it's so far up north where not a lot of people live, and yeah. The second natural resource, however, is wood. The land in Yukon covered in boreal forest is over 57% of the territory. White spruce and lodgepole pine trees are the most common tree species in Yukon. These trees grow slow, but eventually they'll develop into hard, high-quality wood, which will be great for exports of high-quality Canadian wood products. The next territory is Northwest Territories. Its natural resources include metals and minerals, and natural gas and petroleum. The largest and most major natural resources of Northwest Territories is mining. The mining industry has a big impact on Northwest Territories' economy. These precious metals and minerals found and mined in Northwest Territories include gold, lead, tungsten, zinc, and diamonds, and even uranium. The total worth of the mineral production in the Northwest Territories increased from about $6.8 million in 2000 to $2 billion in 2010, which is basically a 200% increase. Mining these metals and minerals allows employment for jobs in the territory and helps support the economy. Natural gas and petroleum. Another one of the Northwest Territories' natural resource is natural gas and petroleum. The natural gas and petroleum found in the Northwest Territories is often used to power homes and provide warmth for the harsh winters. There's still some work needed to be done in ongoing projects concerning the development of these natural resources. The last territory is Nunavut. Nunavut's major natural resources include metals and minerals and oil and gas. The most important natural resource in Nunavut is metals and minerals. Nunavut is known for its exclusive mines of vast variety of these metals and minerals. They can be found all over the territory, and they include gold, diamonds, base metals such as copper, iron, nickel, silver, lead, zinc, tin, uranium, iron ore, rock salt, gypsum, and even more. Even radioactive elements such as uranium has been found all over Nunavut. The base metal zinc has been found to have the highest value of all the metals and minerals mined. Nunavut is also abundant in natural resources like oil and gas. It has oil and gas reserves located in the territory, and certain places in the territory even has an overwhelming amount of it. In fact, a place in Nunavut called the Spurda Basin alone is thought to contain over 481 billion cubic meters of recoverable gas. That's a huge amount, and having to get it out of the land only gives more job and employment opportunities, and some of it can even be exported to other countries, making these natural resources a really important one. Now that we covered that, who does Canada export its goods to? Canada exports goods to several other countries, and they include number 1, the United States. This list includes the countries ranked from most goods with the most income as well. So number 1, we have the United States. Number 2 is China. Number 3 is Mexico. Number 4 is Germany. Number 5 is Japan. Number 6 is the United Kingdom. Number 7 is South Korea. Number 8 is Italy. Number 9 is France. And number 10 is Taiwan. Who does Canada trade with? Canada trades goods to several other countries, and they include, here's the list of the countries ranked from most goods traded with to the least, including the percentages from 2011. Number 1, we have the United States, which accounts for 73.71%. Number 2 is the United Kingdom, which is about 4%. Number 3 is China, which is about 3.75%. 4, Japan, 2.38%. Number 5 is Mexico, where 1.22% of all the traded goods of Canada is sent to. Number 6 is South Korea, with about only 1%. The Netherlands, again with 1%. Germany, 0.88%. France, 0.69%, and number 10 is Hong Kong, 0.66%. And here are the top 5. What are the top 5 products we export to other countries? Here they are. Number 1 is mineral fuels. Number 2 is vehicles. Number 3 is machinery, including computers. Number 4 is gems and precious metals, and number 5 is wood. Minerals account for 20% of total exports, vehicles 14.8% of total exports, machinery includes 7.7% of all exports, gems and precious metals only accounts for about 4% of all imports, and wood 3% of all imports. And here we also list the value or the dollar amount that comes from these exports, top 5 of them. First is minerals, and that counts for $84.6 billion. Vehicles, $62.3 billion comes from exporting them. Machinery, including computers, gives us about $32.4 billion. Gems and precious metals gives us $18.6 billion, and wood $14.1 billion. And what are the top 5 products we import from other countries? So the last one was export. Now we're talking about what do we actually use inside of our country? What do we need to be imported? So here are the top products and where they came from. Number 1 is crude oil, petroleum, vehicles, natural gas, aircraft, and spacecraft. Number 2 is manufactured goods such as electrical appliances, toys, clothing, plastic, metals, rubber, rare earth minerals, oil, silver, fruits, vegetables, and coffee. Number 3 is cotton, machinery, equipment, motor, vehicles, electronic equipment, citrus, iron, and steel. These are grouped into how much we get from each of them. So they're grouped into because they all equal the same amount of importance and the ranking of 1 to 5. Number 4 is motor vehicles, machinery and equipment, electronics, specialized instruments, organic chemicals, iron and steel articles, plastic articles, ships and boats. And number 5, motor vehicle parts, machinery and equipment, electronic specialized instruments, rubber articles, articles of iron and steel, aircrafts and aircraft parts, iron and steel. And here are where the products came from. So all those products came from the United States. And the number 2 group of products came from China. Number 3 group of products come from Mexico. Number 4 come from Germany. And number 5 come from Japan. So all of those are grouped into how much of those products we actually take. So a higher percentage of those specific products ranked from 1 to 5 come from the United States. So the United States is the country that we import the most from. And next, leading order is China. We import the second most amount of things from China. Number 3 is from Mexico. Number 4 is Germany. And number 5 is Japan. And just to take a look back, those are the products we get from each of those countries through importation. And that is the end.